All right, guys, welcome back to another tutorial. This is an explanation of exactly how soccer works. It works quite differently than American football, so I wanted to point that out so that everybody could understand. Let's go to soccer here. The first thing you need to be aware of is some of the stuff listed on here, some of the betting options are for a good ways out. They're months away. You can see the date right here. This is Thursday, June 11th. This is the FIFA World Cup, so it doesn't start for a minute, so it's a good ways away. But some of the other ones down here just start immediately. Like this game is today, so that's much easier or much closer rather. But let's look here. Let's go right here. This is what I want to show you. When you see two numbers listed here, right? 2.5 and 3 under. That's kind of confusing. And that's what I wanted to explain today. Let's look at this over right here. Scotland over. If we make that bet right here, we bet $100, right? Now, it's minus 110. So you see we're risking 110 to win 100. If we wanted to just risk 100, we could do it like that right there, and we would win $90.90. But let's fix this to its normal way. Oh, there you go. So it's a standard win, $100, risking 110. Now, this bet is actually split into two different bets. It is $55, risking $55 to win 50 on over 2.5, and $55 to win 50 on over 3. So let's say the game ends 2-1. Doesn't matter who won. It's 2-1. That would be a total of 3. You bet over 3 and over 2.5. So you would win one of the bets. You would win the over 2.5, and you would push the 3. So this bet right here would actually pay you $50, because you would push the other half, right? So again, we're risking 55 to win 50 on 2.5 over 2.5, and we're risking 55 to win 50 over 3. So that bet over 3 would push, and the other one would win. So now say the game was 3-1. That's 4. That's over both of these totals. We would win both bets. We would win the $100. If the game ended in 2, say 2-0, then that would be under both of these totals. And so we would lose both bets. That's all this is. When you see these both listed here, then they are 2 bets. And you'll see sometimes on the spread too. You know, this is the spread column here. You see right here, 3.5 and 4. That's both of them. You got to win both of those. Pick them and minus a half. You have to cover both of those. So this team right here, Ecuador, would have to win the game by 1 point to win both of these. If they push the game, you would push that one and you would lose that one. If they lost the game by a point, you would lose this one and this one. That's the way, because it's minus a half. That's the way soccer works with these Asian lines when you have 2 of them listed there. It's basically just 2 bets. You take whatever number you put right here and split it in half. That 200 would actually win 100, or win 100 on each of these bets if both bets won. If one pushed and one won, then you would win 100. If one pushed and one lost, then you would lose 100. If they both lost, you would lose 200, and so on. Now, that's the explanation for the Asian lines. When you see this, it's all over soccer. Not always. You see right here, this is more just standard. But then you get here, and it's just different ways. It's just odds makers of how they set everything. The next thing that I want to talk about is the money line bets. There's 3-way bet right here. That's the way soccer bets. It's a 3-way bet, rather than in football, it's a 2-way bet. In football, you can bet the Cowboys to win or the Cowboys to lose. If they tie, it's a push. That's the way NFL works. Soccer's not that way. You can bet South America to win, South America to lose by betting on Mexico to win, or you can bet them to draw. If you bet them $100 right here to win, and they draw, that's not a push. A lot of guys assume that's a push because in the NFL that's a push, but in soccer you have the option to bet the draw. So if you don't bet the draw, you don't bet a tie, then you lose that. And that's really all that is. It's always listed this way. Now, this is where it gets confusing. Soccer is bet on regulation only. It says right here. It tells you this. So overtime, extra time is overtime, right? You have the added time. That's the 3 minutes, 4 minutes that they put back on the end of the regular game for penalties. for the downtime, the stoppage time, the refs add that back. That's added time. That's still considered regulation. It's extra time and shootouts. That's overtime. It's not considered regulation. These bets, all of these bets, are bet on regulation. So if you bet over 2.5 right here, and the score is 2-0, or that wouldn't work. Say it's 1-1, and they go into overtime. They would have 2 points. Somebody's going to score another goal, right? They don't end until it's or they don't stop until it's finalized. So if somebody scores another goal, then the score would be 2-1, and that would be over that 2. Well, that's not a win because this is measured on regulation only. Now, the times that they do insert overtime is in a tournament. Soccer is played in tournament styles as the FIBA World Cup is, right? At first, you're playing pool play, and the games will end in a draw. They will end in a tie. Then it just stops because you get a point for that, or whatever that point system is. It's calculated in there. But later in the tournament, you have to have a winner to advance, and that's when overtime or extra time and penalty kicks come into play. And this won't work. All of these bets don't go over into overtime. So if you bet Switzerland to win, and they go into overtime tied 2-2, and then they win, you don't win this bet because they, in regulation, that's where it's measured. For betting purposes, soccer's only bet in regulation. All of these wagers are bet only in regulation. The extra time is simply for the tournament to continue on because it's a do or die thing. It's a do or go home. It's a win or go home situation where the tournament has to go on. That's how they determine the winner. It's a tournament style. So it's kind of like playoffs in football. You have to have a winner because somebody's got to play next week. It's the same variable here whenever you get later into the tournament. But if you're betting for betting purposes, you're only betting on regulation. All of these totals, all of these wins on the spread or the totals or whatever you're betting is for regulation only in soccer. When they play to a winner later into a tournament, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't determine who this winner is going to be. That doesn't determine what this total is. It's off of the regular game. That's how soccer is played. So that's the difference between soccer and football.